everyone, today we are exploring 10 famous temples near T.Narsipura. Come, let's get started. Gunjaneshwara Swami Temple. To reach this temple from T.Narsipura, it takes about 1.2 kilometers. Let's know the reason behind why this temple got its name as Gunjaneshwara. In Kannada, Gunja means Gulaganji. Gulaganji is also known as rosary pea. This bean-like seed is very precious for Hindus. And also the god Narasimha Swami present in this temple is holding Gulaganji in his hands. That's the reason he is known as Gunjaneshwara Swami. This temple was built by a clothes washerman. Let us know about that. Near this temple, this washerman daily was washing the clothes. One day, Lord Narasimha Swami comes in the dreams of this washerman and tells him that he is in a snake's burrow, so take me out from there and build me a temple. Then this washerman replies Lord Narasimha that I don't have sufficient money to build such a temple. Then Lord Narasimha Swami replies that there is lots of treasure under the rock that you daily wash clothes. You can use all those and build a temple. Then that washerman takes the treasure and builds Gunjaneshwara Swami temple. In front of this temple, you can also see confluence of three rivers, Kaveri, Kabini and Spatika, known as Guptagamini river. Guptagamini means a river which is flowing without being seen. This temple is considered as really powerful temple. This temple's power is equal to Kashi, because how you see confluence of three rivers in Kashi, in Gunjaneshwara Swami temple also you can see confluence of three rivers. And also as you see Kumbh Mela in Kashi, in Gunjaneshwara Swami temple also Kumbh Mela happens once in every 3 years. That is why this temple is also equal to Kashi. Arakeshwara temple. To reach this temple from T.Narsipura, it takes about 4.2 kilometers. This temple is located in a small village of T.Narsipura that is known as Arakeshwara. In this temple, you can see a Shivalinga installed by the sage called Gargacharya. That's the reason this Shivalinga is known as Arakeshwara. But since this temple is in a village called Arakeshwara, this temple has been popularly known as Arakeshwara temple. You can see this Shivalinga in the form of Ardhanareshwara. Speciality of this temple is that you can see a Yaksha Prashne Ganapati. You can actually ask your wishes to Ganapati on the spot and he will also reply you at the same time. That means the wishes you are asking him comes true. You will be able to lift this Ganapati's idol very easily. But if in case your wishes doesn't come true, you will not be able to lift this Ganapati's idol. And you can go to this Ganapati only on Saturday and Sunday from morning 9 to evening 7, because in weekdays special pujas will be going on to this Ganapati. Agasteshwara temple. To reach this temple from T.Narsipura, it takes about 2.8 kilometers. Let us know how this temple got its name as Agasteshwara temple. Because the Shivalinga which you see in this temple is installed by the sage Agastya. There is a small story connected here. The sage Agastya had a brief idea that This place was known as Dakshina Kashi during his period itself, because you can see confluence of three rivers very nearby to this temple. That is why the sage Agastya had a strong belief that this is Dakshina Kashi. During that time, he thought of installing a Shivalinga in this place. So the sage Agastya calls Hanumanta and sends him to Kashi to bring a Shivalinga from there. But Hanumanta runs out of time and brings Shivalinga very late. Within this time, the sage Agastya had already set an auspicious time to install Shivalinga. The auspicious time was running out. So, in order to save this auspicious time, the sage Agastya prepares a Shivalinga out of sand which was available there and installs it. By that time, Hanumanta comes there and becomes really furious and angry on the sage Agastya and beats the Shivalinga from his tail. From that time, a small hole happens on Shivalinga. From this small hole, there will be always Ganga flowing. You can still see this small water flow on Shivalinga if you visit this temple. This water is offered as prasadam for devotees. In order to cool down Hanumanta, the sage Agastya installs the Shivalinga bought from Kashi by Hanumanta at the entrance of this village. That temple is known as Hanumanteshwara. You can still see this temple if you visit this place. Talakadu. To reach this temple from T.Narsipura, it takes about 15 kilometers. Talakadu is a very famous tourist spot. In Talakadu, you can see Kirtinarayana, Pataleshwara, Maruleshwara, Vaidyanatheshwara temples. And also I have made a dedicated video on Talakadu. You can check that out in my description box. Moguru Shri Tripura Sundari temple. To reach this temple from T.Narsipura, it takes about 11 kilometers. This temple was built by a Muslim. This Muslim was a small king in a village. One day, this Muslim king will be taking rest under a tree nearby to this temple. During this time, he falls asleep. At this time, a divine light flashes in front of him. Here, goddess Tripura Sundari speaks to this Muslim king, tells him to build a temple for her. Now, the Muslim king replies that I only believe in Allah and I don't believe in any other god. Now, this man takes a dried corn stick which was lying down there and buries it inside the sand. And he replies goddess Tripura Sundari that if this dried corn stick starts growing within tomorrow evening, then I shall build a temple in this place. And then next day evening, he will start seeing a small sapling of this plant. And then he starts believing goddess Tripura Sundari very strongly and builds a temple for her. Another speciality of this temple is that while praying goddess Tripura Sundari, you should touch your nose to the ground and then only pray goddess Tripura Sundari. From doing this, all our ego vanishes in front of goddess Tripura Sundari. This temple is located in a village called Moguru. That's the reason localites here also call this goddess as Moguramma. Mysore. To reach Mysore from T.Narsipura, it takes about 35 kilometers. If you are an Indian, most probably you will be knowing about Mysore. Here you can see Mysore Palace, Chamundeshwari Temple, St. Phenomena Church, KRS Dam, Brindavana Gardens, Mysore Zoo, GRS Fantasy Park and also many more tourist spots. Somanathapura. To reach Somanathapura from T.Narsipura, it takes about 10 kilometers. In Somanathapura, you can see very beautiful stone carvings. Also in Somanathapura, you can take the blessings of Lord Channakeshava. The temple which is present here has 700 years of history. It is said that this temple was built by Somanatha Dandanayaka. He was a revenue officer under the Hoysala king Narasimha III. Since this temple has been built by Somanatha, this place is known as Somanathapura. This temple is also known as Trikutachala, since this temple consists of 3 sanctums. Sosale Vyasarajamata. To reach this place from T.Narsipura, it takes about 5 kilometers. In Sosale, you can see Vyasarajamata. Vyasaraja was the teacher of Purandaradasa. Vyasaraja have installed about 700 Anjaneya idols. Vyasaraja worships Anjaneya very strongly. The stories of Vyasaraja are really great. Among them, if we take up one such stories, one day to the king of Vijayanagara Empire called Krishnadevaraya, hard time of his life will be arriving soon. This hard time is known as Kuhu Yoga. According to astrology, Kuhu Yoga means hard time. In the hard time of Krishnadevaraya, it will be written that a snake will come and bite Krishnadevaraya, and that becomes true, and a snake arrives to his kingdom. Seeing this, the servants of Krishnadevaraya rushes towards Sri Vyasaraja and brings him to the kingdom. At this time, Vyasaraja sits upon the throne of Krishnadevaraya and wait for the snake to bite Sri Vyasaraja. The snake finally bites Sri Vyasaraja and goes away. But nothing happens to Sri Vyasaraja even after this snake bites him, because he will be having special powers and blessings of Lord Hanuman. In this way, there are so many stories of Sri Vyasaraja. And also, if you visit Sri Vyasarajamata, you can see Krishna's dancing form idol. The way he dances on Kalinga in Kalinga Mardana, you can see Krishna in that exact posture. Kalinga Mardana means Krishna killing the demon snake called Kalinga, who will be living under the ocean. Nanjanagudu. To reach Nanjanagudu from T.Narsipura, it's about 30 kilometers. Gunjaneshwara is nothing but Ishvara, the Lord Shiva, who drank poison called Halahala. Since Gunjaneshwara is present here, this place is called as Nanjanagudu. In Kannada, Nanju means poison. According to Shiva Purana, Nanjanagudu is called as Shri Garalapuri. That means the place where Shiva lives. A demon called Keshi will have a blessing from Lord Vishnu and Brahma that he should never get killed by both of them. Keeping this as an advantage, the demon Keshi starts troubling very horribly to all the gods and goddesses, humans, to all the sages. He'll be really troubling extremely. In order to stop all this, all the gods and goddesses, including sage Narada, visits Lord Shiva and asks Shiva to help them. As listening to all the gods and goddesses to stop all this, Lord Shiva presents himself in Nanjanagudu and kills the demon Keshi, and then says that one of my factor will stay in this place, and this place will be called as destroyer of sins. He also says that whoever visit this place and take a bath in the river Kabini and takes my blessings will be free from all their sins. This story closes up here. It is said that Parashurama had also visited this place. That's the reason this place is also known as Parashurama Kshetra. A story is also connected here. Parashurama was a child who obeys his father Jamadagni's words very sincerely. Being a sincere child to his father, listens to his father's words and beheads his own mother. For this, he becomes a cause of matricide. Seeing this, the sage Narada arrives and tells Parashurama to visit Garalapuri to wash out all his sins. Parashurama then visits Garalapuri. After coming here, he prays Lord Shiva, and then Lord Shiva presents in front of him and tells Parashurama to build a porch. In order to obey Lord Shiva's words, Parashurama starts to build a porch. While he was clearing the grass from his axe, accidentally beats a Shivalinga from his axe, which was hidden inside the grass. Suddenly, as he sees, blood starts flowing from this Shivalinga. Looking at this incident, Parashurama becomes very sad and thinks that he is doing so many bad things and becoming a cause for so many sins, and then thinks that instead of this, let me kill myself, and he goes forward to kill himself from his axe. At this time, Lord Shiva presents in front of Parashurama, take the wet mud and apply it on me, then it will be cured. Then after Parashurama applies wet mud on Shivalinga, blood stops flowing. From this incident, we can understand that there is lots of power in the mud of Nanjanagudu. Then Lord Shiva says him to build a mantapa. Thereafter, Parashurama builds a mantapa. And then Lord Shiva makes Parashurama free from all his sins. Another thing is that Goddess Parvati will also feel to visit Garalapuri and asks Lord Shiva to take her to Garalapuri. Then Shiva brings Parvati to Garalapuri. Thereafter, Goddess Parvati comes near Kabini river and tries to touch the holy river. At this time, a pearl from her crown falls into this river. Then Shiva says that until now, only my factor was there in this place, but from today, your factor will also be in this place. And from today, this place will also be called as Dakshina Manikarnika Ghat. That means South Manikarnika Ghat. Vijayapura Arakeshwara. Arakeshwara is one among the Panchalinga temples. It is believed that if we visit Panchalinga temples in one single day, it's really powerful. To reach this temple from T.Narsipura, it's about 20 kilometers. In Dakshina Kashi Gajaranya Kshetra, Shivalinga had become into 5 parts, that too from 2 huntermans, and that 4th part is known as Arakeshwara. The Central Archaeological Survey of India have been protecting this temple as monuments of national importance. The meaning of Arakeshwara is that Lord's son praying Lord Shiva. It is said that this temple was built by Kulotunga Chola I. Later, it is said that Krishnaraja Wadayar III had renovated this temple. The speciality of this temple is that you can see a rock in entrance of this temple for which Vastu Yantra has been tied. There is a strong belief that if any cow is suffering from any sort of diseases, will be brought here and tied to this Vastu Yantra rock. From doing this, diseases attacked to the cow will get vanished. Mudukuture Mallikarjuna. To reach this temple from T.Narsipura, it's about 19 kilometers. This place is also known as Karnataka's Sri Shaila, because as you take the blessings of Mallikarjuna and goddess Brahmaramba in Sri Shailam. In Mudukutare also you can take the blessings of Mallikarjuna and Brahmaramba. The Shivalinga present in this temple was being worshipped during Mahabharata, Pandava's exile period. Especially Shivalinga here was being worshipped by Arjuna from jasmine flowers. That's the reason Lord Shiva is known as Mallikarjuna. In Kannada, Mallika means jasmine. You can see Kaveri river flowing 20 kilometers away from Mudukutare. Since Kaveri river flows towards Mudukutare and then changes its path, this place was earlier known as Muridatore. In Kannada, Muridatore means a water flow which breaks and changes its path. For this reason itself, this place was earlier known as Muridatore. Later, it's being called as Mudukutare. You'll have to climb more than 100 stairs to take the blessings of Lord Mallikarjuna and Goddess Brahmaramba. But if you are unable to climb the stairs, you can actually come through the road. There are also roads which directly connect to the temple. If you visit T.Narsipura, there are lots of rooms to stay, and I have also shared the information about these rooms in Talakadu video. You can also check that out in my description box. In that video, you will get all the details about the rooms in T.Narsipura. You can stay in T.Narsipura and cover all these 10 famous temples. So these are the 10 famous temples in T.Narsipura that you should must visit. And this was today's information. I will see you all in my upcoming video. Until then, keep watching my videos. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.